If I were to ask you what the meaning of life is, or what your highest calling was, what the purpose of your life is, what kind of image would come to mind? I wonder how many of us would picture a smile. I think smiling is something that we overlook. We overlook its importance. It's a lost art for many of us. The studies have shown that kids smile 400 to 500 times a day. Adults, on average, 20. A happy adult, 40 to 50 times a day. How is it that we've forgotten something that I believe is at the very core, the crux, the very genesis of Christ's mission was to remind us how to be happy, to smile more. I'll show you that. But I think this is something that's worth talking about at the risk of overcomplicating a rather simple behavior. It's something that if we do it more, I think we are living our highest calling. I think we are being our best selves. And it's difficult. At the risk of taking criticism for people going, look at your life, people assuming that they know what my life looks like and that it should be easier to smile than others. I want to talk about this. Christ started his campaign with a public sermon about being happy. The formula for Christ's success was so different, so radically different than the world's and what people had expected the Messiah to come out and say, that it's something we still talk about today. So Christ started his mission, his public sermons with the Beatitudes, known as the Sermon on the Mount. He went to a hillside and he started teaching the most normal outcasts, the poor, the oppressed, the needy, the outliers of society. He did not start his mission by rallying around him of a powerful inner circle of allies and politicians and church leaders who were smart and well-educated. He wandered out into the countryside and he started talking to the most normal, those who dealt with abject poverty or struggled in life, who were forgotten by society. And he talked to them about being happy. The word blessed that he used is also translated sometimes as happy. So here's the formula for success for Christ to be happy. And just think while I read through this briefly, how this aligns with what the world tells us today is the secret to success. Whether we can find that through some career identity or some artistic endeavor, or whether that comes through some material gain. In our capitalistic society, we're told you can buy your way to happiness. Here's what Christ has to say about this. And it was so important that this is how he started his mission. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The poor in spirit meaning like those who recognize that there is a chasm between us and God, that there's a difference between his holiness and ours, and recognizing in that there's a humility required in approaching him, in approaching life. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. How many of us thirst for righteousness in this world, for our own lives, and the lives of those around us? Blessed are the merciful, for they'll be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they'll see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they'll be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. The historical context of this gets lost when we forget that he was speaking to people who were occupied at the time by an empire that wasn't theirs. The Roman Empire had occupied the holy city, and Christ even, he surrounded himself with Simon the Zealot, was a freedom fighter. This is somebody who was using violence as a way of trying to overthrow this government, to restore the city, what they thought of as the city of God, Jerusalem. And it was to these people that Christ was preaching peace. He was preaching meekness. He was preaching humility. He was preaching purity. This formula, he is saying, makes you the new kingdom, the new city of God, the new Jerusalem. If you want to participate in heaven, you can do so now by living this kind of life. And with it comes a sense of peace and happiness. What do we do when we're happy? We smile. We express it with this behavior, this cheeky behavior. And Christ knows that. And so he was calling for peace. He was calling for a radical new way of life. And I think that call still remains very much at the heart of his message and desires for you and I today. So if you want to live the Christ way, whether you're a Christian or not, whether you're religious or not, you're closer to Christ than you think when you smile.